Just 47 seconds ago, Senator Chris Coons dropped a bombshell that's going to dominate news cycles for days. No polite skirting, no procedural fluff. He skipped the usual DC dance, where truths get whispered but never shouted. Instead, he locked eyes with FBI Director Kash Patel, leaned into the mic, and asked the question that's haunted the Bureau for 11 months. Did you deliberately halt probes into Donald Trump? Watch that face change in real time? The flicker of unease, his legal team freezing, the room's atmosphere snapping from routine to electric. Stick around to the end, because the next 4 minutes will flip what you thought you understood about Patel's FBI. New here, subscribe now and flip on notifications. This saga's heating up, with another hearing in just 72 hours. Context is everything, so let's set the table. Senate Judiciary Committee. Standard quarterly FBI oversight, booked weeks earlier. These sessions are typically dry as dust. Budget tweaks, staffing notes, terror briefings. C-SPAN fodder, where senators recite scripts, and the director parries with rehearsed vagueness. Everyone nods, adjourns, goes home. That's the plan, and that's not what happened. Kash Patel entered at 9:47 a.m., looking every bit the part. Sharp dark suit, bold red tie. That trademark purposeful walk honed from years of Capitol Hill battles. 3 attorneys at his flanks, 2 high-level deputies behind, a fat binder of tabs and highlights. He's been through this rodeo countless times. Knows how to parry tough questions, burn minutes, deliver non-answers that sound like answers. He expected smooth sailing. Chris Coons sat 4 spots from the chair. Most folks see Coons as the steady, bridge-building Democrat, the one who crosses aisles, keeps it civil, avoids drama. No theatrics, no viral soundbites. But dig deeper. Former county executive, Yale Law, constitutional scholar. When Coons speaks, it's measured, prosecutorial. He doesn't ask unless he already has the receipts and is methodically laying a trap. First 90 minutes, textbook predictable. Senators lobbed questions on Chinese cyber threats, Russian influence ops, domestic extremism stats. Patel batted them away effortlessly. We're monitoring closely, Senator. Can't discuss active matters. Resources are aligned. Classic playbook. His team stayed relaxed. Deputies looked half asleep. Patel checked his watch twice, then Coons got the floor. Director Patel, he began. Voice even, almost congenial. I'd like to zero in on something very concrete. Not broad policy or funding, but a specific issue that's come across my desk. Patel nodded politely. Of course, Senator. On March 22nd this year, Coons continued, did you send a directive to FBI field offices about how to manage cases that touch, or might touch, former government officials? The vibe shifted instantly. You could sense it, the quiet ripple when routine turned serious. Patel's face held neutral, but his hand on the table tensed, knuckles whitening. Senator, the Bureau routinely provides operational direction to field offices as part of normal oversight. I'm not asking about routine. Coons produced a single sheet, official FBI letterhead. I'm asking about this specific memo, dated March 20th. Are you familiar? Patel flicked a glance at his lawyers, quick but unmistakable. Senator, without seeing the precise item, let me refresh your memory. Coons raised it for the cameras. This memo orders special agents in charge, SACs, to route any investigative files involving former presidents or their top senior staff straight to headquarters for classification review before moving forward. He laid it flat. Did you authorize this? Heavy silence, not awkward but loaded. Everyone holding their breath. Classification checks are standard to safeguard national security and meet federal rules, Patel offered. Not what I asked. Coons stayed calm, but steel crept in. Yes or no? Did you issue that March 20th directive requiring field offices to forward cases involving former presidents to HQ before advancing? 22 seconds. I timed it. In a hearing, 22 seconds of dead air is forever. It's the sound of no solid defense left. The moment viewers realize this is big. Finally, Senator, I'm not in a position to address internal operational communications in open session. Wrong move. You could see it register on Coons' face. Not fury, but the cold certainty of a prosecutor who's just locked in the key admission. Coons reached for a thick folder, 2 inches of tabs and highlights. Since you're not ready to discuss it, Director, allow me to outline what followed your directive. First sheet, April 3rd. 12 days later, FBI Miami field office had an active probe into financial irregularities at a Trump Organization subsidiary. Opened November last year on IRS referral. Running 5 months strong. April 3. Suspended. Lead reassigned. Files shipped to HQ for classification. Still pending. 7 months on. Patel opened his mouth. Coons didn't pause. April 17th. Phoenix office. Potential Presidential Records Act violations tied to Mar-a-Lago documents post-initial search. Witnesses interviewed. Subpoenas drafting. April 17th. Suspended. Files to HQ. Classification review ongoing. Deputies behind Patel leaned in, whispering urgently. Lawyers scribbled notes like mad. May 2, New York field office. Campaign finance concerns linked to 2024 Trump efforts, drawn from Manhattan DA material. May 2, suspended. HQ review. Coons stacked them neatly. I have 17 more examples. 17 distinct investigations across 12 field offices, all touching Donald Trump or his direct entities. All active pre-March 22. All halted within 30 days of your directive. All frozen in HQ classification limbo. Dead quiet. No coughs, no papers rustling. Just 50 pairs of eyes on Patel. So I'll ask once more. Coons said, measured but firm. Think carefully. You're under oath. Did you issue a directive that effectively paused active FBI investigations into Donald Trump? Patel pivoted to process. Senator, classification protocols exist to prevent compromising national security or clashing with sensitive operations involving ex-senior officials. Ex-senior officials? Coons' tone edged up, not yelling but pointed. Donald Trump's been private for 4 years. He's running for office again. Rallies, golf, campaigns, not running classified ops. Former presidents retain clearances and access protections requiring safeguards. Then account for this. Coons produced a multi-page analysis. My staff reviewed every FBI probe involving ex-senior officials over the past 20 years. Presidents, VPs, cabinet. Average classification review time, 14 days. Longest pre your tenure, 41 days. He met Patel's gaze. Your 17 Trump-related cases. Shortest stalled 7 months. Longest 11. That's not review, that's indefinite hold. Pause here, because this matters. For months, whispers have circled. Why no progress on Trump-linked matters since Patel took over? Official line. Can't comment on active cases, classification reviews, standard steps. Coons ripped that veil aside. He brought documents, dates, field offices, specific probes, showing a clear pattern. 17 cases, all Trump-adjacent, all thriving until March 22nd, all abruptly sidelined to HQ, all gathering dust. Not random procedure, targeted policy. And the policy looks like hands off Trump. Patel was visibly perspiring under the lights now. Tie loosened a fraction. Lawyers had stopped passing notes, just staring. Senator, he said, quieter, defensive. The FBI never bases investigative calls on politics. We chase facts, follow law and protocol. Then why aren't any closed? Coons cut in. If reviews uncovered issues, legal barriers, no merit, they'd be shut formally. But they're not. Suspended. In limbo. Common thread? Donald Trump. He collected his stack. Director Patel, let's be blunt. You were appointed by Donald Trump. Served in his administration. You've said publicly the FBI was weaponized against him. Now under you, every probe touching him has ground to a halt. That's not chance. That's compromise. The room erupted. Gasps from spectators. Reporters fumbling devices. Senators exchanging stunned glances. Gavel banged twice for order. Patel pushed back. Senator Coons, I reject any claim the FBI acted improperly or with bias under my watch. Suggesting we halted cases to shield anyone is baseless and insulting to our dedicated agents. Coons shook his head slowly. What I see? 17 cases. A clear pattern. Your directive. Months, years of delay. Call it review. Call it protocol. The public sees protection. He leaned back. This committee will subpoena all 17 files. We'll depose reassigned lead agents. We'll question the classification board. We'll uncover the truth, even if you won't provide it. The hearing limped on. Border policy, counterterrorism dollars. No one listened. All eyes on what Coons had just exposed live. 17 Trump-related investigations, all quashed under Patel via a directive that funneled them into endless HQ review. Clips spread instantly. X blew up. Networks cut programming. Analysts weighed obstruction charges. At FBI HQ, crisis mode, how to handle questions never meant for open air. I keep replaying it. Coons stacking those pages, hitting 17. asking outright what everyone's wondered but few dared voice. Did you kill investigations to shield Trump? Patel had no real reply. No counter-evidence. No explanation. Just deflection. This isn't fading. Coons pledged subpoenas. Files coming. Agents testifying under oath. Patel will face why 17 live cases into the ex-president vanished weeks after he took charge. 47 seconds. That's all Coons needed to do, what no one else has. Lay out documents, trace the pattern, demand accountability. Did you shut down FBI probes to protect Trump? His silence dodges discomfort. They're screaming the answer. Subscribe, hit the bell. The next hearing drops in 72 hours. Coons just vowed to bring those pulled agents forward. On camera, sworn. What we saw today? Just the prelude. Truth emerges document by document, hearing by hearing, senator by senator. And Kash Patel, the man who figured he could sideline 17 investigations unnoticed, just got a costly wake-up call. Chris Coons noticed. Now the country knows.